Today I want to speak to you about how to convince people to buy your products. There are 5 questions every potential customer normally asks himself or herself. The first question is, do I need this product now? Do I need this product now? That talks about need. The second question is, can I afford this product now? And that talks about pricing or affordability. Can I afford it? Do I have the money now? The third question is asking himself is, what is the quality of this product? Am I sure of the quality of this product? Now, that talks about the intrinsic properties of the product in question. It could be durability. The fourth question is asking himself is, do I need this? Do I want to buy this now? Now that talks about scale of preference, urgency of need. And the last question is asking himself is, why should I buy from you? Why should I buy from you? And that talks about customer relationship. So in summary, 5 questions. So I want to analyze the 5 questions. And these 5 questions are what will determine whether the customer or prospective customer will buy your product or not. The first question is, do I need this product now? That talks about need. Value adding product. It's not the same thing as want. In economics, there's a difference between need and want. A need is something that you require to have, you are required to have in order to survive. A need is something that you need in order to survive. A want is something you desire, you only desire it. You may have it or you may not have it. But a need is something that is very, very essential. So the first question has to do with need. And that is very, very paramount. The second question is, can I afford this product or this service? And that is very, very important, the price. So it may be there may be a good need for the purchase of the product, but the price may be a problem. So we are going to discuss this. And the third question is, do I want to buy this product now? Urgency, scale of preference. He will look at the scale of preference to see, is this one more important than the other needs? And the fourth question is, what is the quality assurance? And that talks about durability or some intrinsic properties in that product, which you have to convince him or her. And the last question is, why should I buy from you? Now, all of these questions are very, very important, and your responses to them without him or her asking you such questions. In fact, they won't ask you, most customers, prospective customers will not ask you those questions. But those questions are in their hearts. And so you that you want to sell the product must have it at the back of your mind that that client, that prospective customer that just came into your store, to your mall now, is asking 5 questions right in his heart. And so you must ensure that you have answers to those questions, even when he does not voice it out. So your ability to answer those 5 questions, to provide a satisfactory answers to those questions, will determine whether the customer, the prospective customer, will buy your product or not. So I want to give you 10 things that you will apply to convince a potential customer to buy your products at all times. Number one, focus on the pain points that your product addresses. What are pain points? Pain points are problems that your product solves. What problems does your product address? What are the needs that your product address? Focus on it in your interaction, in your communication, in your conversation with that customer or with that prospective client. Now, you can't do this effectively until you have conducted a research of the pain points or the problems of the people. Secondly, you need to also understand what are the needs of that prospective client, that man that has just come into your store. What are his needs? Needs differ. If somebody could come in, his need may be different from the other person. Yes, you run a boutique, you have a mall where they sell clothes, but two customers who have different needs, so you can't give them the same thing. So you need to understand what are his needs and why does he want those things that he has come in to buy. So you need to understand that. So the first question you need to ask him indirectly is to know his needs. You need to ask him, he needs to speak out, and then you must also be a good listener. So when you listen very well, you'll be able to understand why he wants a particular thing, and then you'll be able to recommend one of your products that will fit his needs. The reason why God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth is because he wants us to listen more than we talk. So you must be, when a customer or a client comes in, you must be able to listen to him, understand his needs, and then introduce a particular product you have to him to say, this one will meet your need. Number 2, adopt what I call a multi-price model to your product. A multi-price model. In other words, a brand must have at least 3 varieties. I mean in sizes or quality. So if you have a product, you need to break it down into 3, either in size or in quality. For example, large, medium, small. So, and you must have different prices for that same product, for that same brand. Don't forget, the one that is large will have the highest price. The one that is medium will have a moderate price. The one that is small will have the lowest price. Now, research has shown that most people in the world go for the medium, the price that is in the middle. So you must be very, very careful in your conversation to make sure that you present a product that the price is not that expensive. So you can introduce the 3. This one is $5,000. It's large, it's the best. This medium is $2,500. This one, the smallest, is $1,500. Now, most people will go for the medium. Why? Because the price is affordable. So you must have at least 3 different prices for a particular brand. Number 3, your price must be competitive in the market. It must not only be competitive in that industry, it must be a little bit cheaper. Or if not cheaper, then it means that the quality is high. So it must be competitive to similar brands in the industry. It must also be competitive to substitutes or alternatives. in the industry. Because there are alternatives, there are substitutes to your product. Your product must not be more expensive than other substitutes. So be able to convince, these are the things you will use to convince the client or the prospective customer who has come into your mall or your store wanting to buy your product or patronize your service. Number 4, dwell much on the added advantage your brand has over other brands in the market. What are the things that particular brand has over other brands? Focus on it. Emphasize on it in your conversation with him. Now, you can't do this effectively except you know your brand very well and you know the competitor's brand. When you know the brands of the competitors, then you'll be able to emphasize on the advantages of your product above others without mentioning names. Avoid mentioning names of the competitors except when the prospective client wants to mention or is mentioning the name. But avoid as much as possible to mention the name of your competitors. Otherwise, you'll be promoting the brand and you'll be promoting it as being superior to your own brand. Number 5, don't give them the impression that you want to exploit them. Give them the impression that you are interested in their welfare. You see, the mindset of a prospective buyer, the average mindset of a prospective buyer is that the seller is out to rip him off. The seller is out to cheat him. You must avoid this. You must correct that impression that you are out. Now, you must show interest in the welfare or in the interest of the man who just came into your store to buy. You must ask him some questions as to recommend a suitable product or brand that you'll be satisfied with. So you must correct that impression, because every buyer or an average buyer has an impression that the seller wants to exploit him or her. The seller is only interested in the money he wants to take from him. He's not interested in his satisfaction. Number 6. Now, honesty is the best policy in business, they say. So, you must be honest in your conversation. You must be truthful to that customer. Yes, you can persuade him, but in all of your conversation, you have to be truthful. You have to be honest. Now, I have experienced a lot of bad things while trying to purchase some things. I just give you an example. I went to a store and I put on a shirt. Yes, the shirt is beautiful, but it wasn't beautiful on me. And so the guy said, "Oh, this shirt is beautiful on you." I look at the mirror. The shirt wasn't beautiful on me. He was making statements as though the shirt was beautiful on me. I knew he wasn't honest. I knew he was after my money, he was not after my interest. So I had to leave the shop. Now, you see, many people have experienced this, and what this will portend for your business is that such customers will never come back again, because he knows that you are only interested in his money in your pocket rather than his own satisfaction. So you must be honest. Honesty is the best policy. Say exactly how the dress or the product is. Don't exaggerate. Don't lie. When the customer sees your honesty, he will buy the product. Number 7, assure him of the quality and persuade him. But remember, you have to be honest. Dwell on the intrinsic properties of that product, of that brand. Focus on it. Assure him that it is durable if it's durable. If it's not durable, present another one, because it may come back and return that product and it might embarrass you. You will have lost a big customer. You need to be honest. Assure him of the quality. You may mention some people who have bought this. If there are popular names, there are names of people, you may have to mention that this person has bought this person has been using this. I have also been using this for so number of years, or for so years, for so period, and it has not. Be honest. When he sees honesty in you, he will buy. Number 8, the 8th thing to do is build a good relationship with that prospective client. The moment he comes in, you open the door, or the receptionist or whoever opens the door to him or her, they must welcome him or her well. Build a good relationship. Your staff must be humble. They must be receptive. A client must be welcome properly. Yes, you may say you are welcome, but indeed, you may not be welcome. You have to demonstrate that. You have to teach your staff to welcome a prospective client very, very well. When a prospective client sees that is welcome, he will stay. He will spend some time in your store or in that mall or anywhere you are transacting business to look at other products, and he will be convinced to buy. So you have to build good relationship. And I suggest to you that one of the things you can do is immediately he enters, introduce yourself. Mention your name so as to get his own name. The essence of this is to get his name. And in your conversation, you must be mentioning his name. In your conversation, at least 2 or 3 times throughout the period of conversation. While you are negotiating, you have to address him by his first name. And you can get his name by introducing yourself first. Let him have a good customer experience, beginning from the time he enters to the point of his exit, even if he does not buy. If he does not buy today, he will buy tomorrow. If he has a good experience in your business. The 9th way to convince people to buy your products is you have to consider some things, particularly if you see that it's a potential, it's a big customer. If you suspect that it's going to be a big customer, then waive something, give discount. Go out of your way to please him. You can offer discount. You can offer waivers. And prove to him that indeed you have offered something. You have considered something. He will be persuaded to buy. Number 10, the last one. Ensure that you take down his details. His phone number, his email address, and other details that you need. If he does not buy today, he will buy tomorrow. Now, those details are important for 2 reasons, and you must use those details. Because many people take down these details, but they don't make use of them. Number 1 is to thank him for coming. Even if he has not bought a product, you have to call him. Say, thank you for coming, for patronizing us, or for entering our store. We hope to see you the next time. That way you'll be surprised. You want to come the next time. We persuaded to come the next time. So it does not matter whether he buys or not. The first time, you call him, take down his details, and thank him for entering your store or for making inquiry about your brands. And second reason why you need to also do that, as I've mentioned, is you need to thank him for the purchase he has made and wish him well and tell him you desire him to come the next time, and that if he has any complaint, that he should not hesitate to call you. Now, you have built a good relationship by that. And so the customers or the customer will want to come over and over each time he has a need, because he is now sure that his interest is something that concerns you. You are not after his money, you are after his interest after all. So you must ensure that you are after the interest of your potential customer. You must demonstrate it. That's what we are saying. To convince people to buy your product, you have to demonstrate it. Don't forget, please, to subscribe to this channel so that you can regularly get from me new videos every day that will help you in your search for financial freedom, wealth creation, and all-round success in life and business. And then don't also forget to turn on the notification bell. When you do so, I will immediately notify you anytime I make any video. And I'm doing that every day. The next series of videos will be very, very big, of utmost value to you, to your business. Don't miss this. If you don't want to miss any of my videos, then you need to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button now and turn on the notification bell so that you can get these videos. Thank you for watching. I see you in the next video.